innovation has developed that we're offering for people to order and support our work is this simple sprout jar lid. This can help perform an amazing wonder, that is in the growing of seeds. Now I'd like you to have a look at this. This bottle contains 4 different seeds. I put them into the bottle this morning, about 5 hours ago altogether, and there's 4 seeds. There's alfalfa, there's 2 kinds of lentil, and there's fenugreek. The rate that sprouts grow is an extraordinary phenomenon. From this humble beginning of, if you can imagine, 5 hours ago, that was 1 centimetre of height of mixed seeds. Now, they will double in size, weight, and nutrition every 24 hours. And after, this is day 1, now here is an example of day 7. Take note, there, started 1 centimetre in height 5 hours ago. 7 days later, that turns into this, 4 litres of growing seeds. They're delicious, they're nutritious, they're super nutritious, it's alive. The way that I deal with these sprouts is really exciting for me, because what I do is I take them, I take both of those bottles and I blend them, I reduce them to a liquid. I pre-masticate them. To save me chewing through them, I bring it down into an instantly assimilatable form. But not only the sprouts, although I could just use the sprouts, but I mix green leaves, just freshly harvested from the garden. I live amidst an edible landscape, urban permaculture demo or garden that has such an abundance of fresh edible green leaves, which is what I like the most. So there's about 15 or so varieties. I use parsleys and kale and ginkgo biloba and globe artichoke leaves, and I use sage, thyme, rosemary. I use sorrel and many others, yarrow, and even calendula I sometimes use. I often use 1 or 2 leaves of comfrey, which is helping heal my knees from the inside. I had damaged knees from football when I was young, and I've noticed that if I put a poultice on my knee, it instantly heals it. But having it from the inside, I now walk up and down stairs with great ease. So the mix of the leaves, the sprouts, I use apple juice as the base. I also use other seeds and nuts that are unsprouted, and I use fruit to sweeten it even further. And truly, folks, if you like to try it yourself, you'll discover, like me, that it's the closest thing to give you the Popeye effect in real life, and I commend it for your consideration. But not just that, I just want to make the point that to acquire good health and immunity efficiency, raw living foods is the proven way to go. There's just no better. This is the way to fuel your body in the most inexpensive and the most nutritious and dynamically vital way that can be found. Consider buying one of these sprout jar lids from us. We're doing this under our name, McNaturals International Proprietary Limited. We have a website, mcnaturals.com. We're looking for support, and we're inviting public recognition of the work that we do, and invite anyone and everyone to, if you like what we're doing, to lend some support in some way or another. The bottles you can get from anywhere, but these lids you can't get anywhere but from us, and we're selling them for $5 each. The lids work perfectly, and I can't commend them to anybody who'd like to try this system of eating strongly enough, because for me it's very workable. The lid works very simply. Look, it's like this. It just screws on and off like that. There's the lid. I carefully measure 1/4 of each seed, 1/4 of alfalfa, 1/4 of fenugreek, quarter of blue lentils and a quarter of green lentils. And when they go in, as I explained, it's about half that size. Now that'll come up a little bit for the remaining 5 or 6 hours that I'll have them soaking. And then what I do is I tip that out. I won't do it here, but I tip it out and put it upside down, and I drain out all the water. It's important for me to emphasize all the water, because if a little puddle is left at the bottom, it could send the whole batch rancid. So you empty out all the water, and then you do an extra shake after you do it, and you just shake the rest, any water that might have accumulated out, you shake it out. But the water sits around the seed, and it just absorbs it through the body of the sprout, and it grows. This one has started to green up, little green shoots are coming, and root tails are forming, and it's all edible. And for me, the longer it grows, the better. I mean, I could keep that in the jar now for another perhaps 48 hours. I'll still rinse it every 12 hours just to keep it fresh and vital. And if I'm not ready to blend it into my mix, I would put a solid lid onto this, and I'd put it into the crisper drawer in the refrigerator and leave it for up to a week before I would blend it. But usually I use it on the day that I'm ready, or a day or two.
And while it's sprouting, it doubles in nutrition every 24 hours?
That's the reality of it. Nutrition, weight and size. And that's why it starts off a centimetre down here, and after 7 or 8 days it comes to 2 full jars.
And if you wanted to, you could plant those seedlings so you have a sustainable source of the sprouts as well.
Absolutely. Well, I've done that. There's a few of them coming up in the garden now,